if you cut Social Security. As president, I will do everything I can to extend the solvency of Social Security and expand benefits for people who desperately need them.
This Friday, everybody, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and stay until the end of this video. Folks, in this video, we will go over the very important stimulus check information. So you want to be sure to stay until the end of the video. So more than 7.5 million jobless Americans are now struggling to pay their bills and have lost their extended unemployment assistance, marking the largest cutoff of unemployment benefits in the history of the United States. Now, the end of federal benefits is going to affect gig workers, caregivers, and independent contractors who normally are not eligible to apply for unemployment. And the move comes, folks, as many states battle the expiration of the eviction moratorium across the country. Folks, are you in support of this? Do you believe that the federal benefits should have been extended? Tell me in the comments below.
Absolutely convinced that if we have the courage and the determination to stand together in the fight for justice, and that is economic justice, social justice.
So with an ongoing labor shortage in the United States, experts said it is unlikely the federal government will extend benefits again, leaving low-income Americans scrambling for solutions. Expanded unemployment benefits have been a lifeline for millions of people. They have helped families to keep food on the table, kids out of poverty, and rent paid. It seems almost inevitable that losing these benefits is going to make life a lot harder for a lot of people in America. I personally believe, folks, that President Biden should increase the Social Security benefits and also send out the fourth stimulus check. We have to realize there are still many people in this country in need of financial assistance.
First, your colleague, Joe Manchin, just explicitly told me repeatedly he will not support your $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. He wants to see something more in the ballpark of $1.5 trillion. Is that acceptable to you?
No, it is absolutely not acceptable to me. I don't think it's acceptable to the president, to the American people, or to the overwhelming majority of the people in the Democratic caucus. Look.
Let me begin with this. What do you make about this Manchin strategic pause?
Well, it's a whole lot better than rushing headlong into this disastrous bill, and it would give a chance for the American people to get some sense of what's actually in this bill. It's been wildly mischaracterized as an anti-poverty bill. As you know, it's really a series of entitlements for the middle class, which the middle class will pay with higher taxes. It's a terrible idea. And, you know, the more people learn about it, the less they're going to like it.
So folks, all the unemployment benefits ended on Labor Day, and many unemployed Americans have seen their benefits cut by $300 a week. And since the onset of the crisis, the federal government has delivered more than $800 billion in unemployment benefits. Unemployment checks, originally $600 and then lowered to $300, were enacted last year under the CARES Act by the former president. For the first time, everybody, independent contractors and gig workers who had lost income due to the downturn of the economy received unemployment known as unemployment assistance. So folks, the government also continued to boost unemployment through the federal unemployment compensation in states with reduced unemployment insurance, paying on average an additional $334. In many cases, everybody, jobless Americans could collect both. And though the American Rescue Plan passed in March, President Biden extended all of these programs, including the maximum duration from 24 to 53 states, from 24 to 53 weeks. In states with high unemployment, people could receive up to 86 weeks of benefits. No state has decided to continue issuing $300 checks beyond the federal deadline. Janet Yellen, everybody, states that they could earmark $350 billion of funds from the American Rescue Plan to continue paying unemployment benefits locally. Republicans have argued that the extended unemployment assistance was contributing to the ongoing labor shortage across the country, while the unemployment rate is currently 5.2%, well under the record high of 14.7%. The U.S. Department of Labor reported the economy added a disappointing 235,000 jobs in August, well under the 750,000 jobs economists had predicted and the White House expected. Governors in several states claimed that residents were not taking available jobs because they preferred to collect unemployment instead. The federal minimum wage has remained at $7.25, which is about $314 a week, a few dollars over what jobless Americans were collecting. So ending unemployment benefits early could have cost local state economies up to $12.3 billion, according to the U.S. Congress committee. and some states have launched programs using the funds from the American Rescue Plan to incentivize people for taking a job. Arizona set aside $300 million of federal funds to offer a one-time $2,000 bonus for people who rejoin the workforce with a full-time job. Those who go back to work part-time receive a $1,000 one-time stipend. Workers must also make less than $25 an hour or the equivalent salary of $52,000 a year. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey's office also announced the state would cover up to 3 months of child care for returning workers. And while unemployment has ended, regular unemployment is still available. Each state sets its own guidelines on how it issues unemployment insurance. In many cases, unemployment is available to salaried workers that lose their jobs through no fault of their own. Applicants must meet work and wage requirements, and there is a limit for how many weeks can be claimed. So as the crisis benefits end, the Senior Citizens League made a petition for Congress to issue a $1,400 stimulus check to Social Security recipients. And I hope to see this bill approved, everybody. I hope to see President Biden and our politicians in Congress send out more stimulus relief and help out the American people.
For American families, by learning from the experience that we've had, by learning from the failures of the last 4 years, the Republicans have only one cure-all in their economic medicine cabinet, the tax cut elixir. No matter what the economic weather, they always claim that more tax cuts for those at the top will trickle down to everyone, and that, of course, their tax cuts will pay for themselves. When instead all they do is leave us with a mountain of debt and a divisive void between those at the very top and the rest of America. As some at the top have had their best year ever, raking in millions, while so many American families were just trying to keep food on the table, avoid eviction, death, and disability. President Biden has recognized that the Republican top-down approach is a failure. The debate over this bill is not about any specific budget number, but about which specific programs can offer the most direct benefit and hope to American families. This legislation begins quite appropriately with children. Paid family